Why is hope so important? Well, hope opens the door to the possibility that there's a way out of the problem. If you're an investor and the markets are down and you're prudently diversified and you're prudently invested, you have this hope that things will get better in the future. Now, if you're not prudently invested and you're speculating and gambling, that's a big problem. That could be a different story. But if you're prudently invested, there's that way out of the problem. And that's with anything in life. It's not just in investing. So hope allows people, and I put investors in quotes there, or in brackets, to approach problems with a mindset suitable for success, thereby increasing the chances that they'll achieve their goals. But here's the reality check. There's real hope and there's false hope. There's real hope and false hope in the financial industry, and there's real hope and false hope in all areas of life. This is a great quote by John Stossel. People that watch a lot of TV news think there's more crime and suffering in the world than ever. People that watch a lot of TV news tend to lose hope. You have to realize when you're watching the news that probably 90% of it, the evil people get the press. The good people don't get the press. So if you're watching that all day long, you think that's the real world. It's not. It's not the real world. Investors that lose hope become victims of false hope and easy prey for scam artists and fraudsters. They prey on them with their empty promises. Scott found this video, and I'm going to share it with you in the next class. We don't have time to go through it today, but I wanted to show it to you because $135 million from 900 investors, the latest video that we could find. They were promising them 15 to 23% returns, guarantees backed by real estate, right? And you have to be careful out there, because those aren't stupid people. 900 investors aren't stupid people. They bought it hook, line, and sinker, and the money's gone. And it's not just the money. It's the emotional anguish that lasts a lifetime. You go to bed with it. You wake up with it. It never goes away. Here's some of the red flags warnings that were in this video, and we're going to cover them in detail in the next class. But it's very similar to all the frauds that we always cover with you. Strain on marriage, right? It's hard on the kids. People having to go back to work in 60s and 70s and 80 years old. I saw a 90-year-old have to go back to work. Crazy. Sell a long-time home that you've been in 20, 30, 40 years. And then in this one again, suicide. We see that quite often in these frauds from the victims. Retirement plan ruined, entire families wiped out, lives shattered, lifetime of savings gone in an instant. And all these crooks, they always get caught, but it doesn't help you because the government doesn't find out about it until after the fraud occurs. So you have to have your guard up. That's why we teach this stuff in classes, because investors forget when they're under pressure. If we're down, let's say in our prudent, broadly diversified portfolio, our balanced portfolios might have been down 10% or so in the last quarter of 2018, and all of a sudden one of these guys comes along and makes you that empty promise. When you write the check, they know they're stealing the money from you. Okay? They know it. They're sociopaths. One of our jobs, and one of the things that Scott and I are extremely proud of, is protecting you guys from this. When you have this education, when these guys make these empty promises, a lot of times your next call is to us. And we can tell you about that particular investment and the risk and the possibility of fraud. So these are some of the classes that we taught this year. Scott taught the Art of Deception Part 1, and there's so much fraud, so many scams, so many shenanigans. We had to split it up into 2 parts. I taught Part 2, and I followed it up with Gullibility in Life and Investing. Awesome classes. So when you know and learn the warning signs, you guys can save yourself, and you guys can save your family. So how do we avoid fraud? Attend our fraud classes. When we send out the videos, watch the fraud videos, and then forward them to everybody that you know and love, so they know. If they don't watch them, that's their issue. And then we have to relentlessly stick to the prudent investing fundamentals that we teach. If you just do that, chances of you becoming a victim are basically slim and none. So we have the prudent path in both up and down markets. So I own these portfolios, Scott owns these portfolios, you guys, we own the same portfolios that we do for you guys. So this is what I'm going to do for my family and for me, and what Scott's going to do for him and his family, and what Scott and I are going to do for you and your family. We're going to stay prudent, stay diversified worldwide. We're going to stay diversified in many asset classes, not just stocks. Some of you guys have, real estate assets outside of stocks, and we got CDs, we got savings accounts. Some of you have fixed annuities. That's all fine as a part of a good, prudent, broadly diversified portfolio. Stay disciplined and patient. We're going to rebalance small amounts out of hot asset classes and funds, and we're going to rebalance small amounts into down asset classes and funds. I'm going to keep my risk consistent. You guys should keep your risk consistent. You shouldn't, when markets are up, you shouldn't all of a sudden, hey, I want to take more risk now. That's not the thing to do. You have to stay consistent. And above all, avoid forecasting, predicting, guessing, and market timing. And here's the thing. I'm always going to have a third-party custodian hold my money, and we're always going to have a third-party custodian hold your money. Okay? So a lot of these frauds, the investors write the checks to the companies, and it makes it easy for those guys to commit fraud. They can do the fake statements, and they can do anything they want with your money. Once they have it controlled and it's in their bank account, they can do anything they want with it. So all of that is easier said than done, right? It's not easy to do. So sometimes we just need a little guidance. So for this video, you guys know how smart Scott is, right? He's really smart. But we don't tell him because then he gets this big ego, right? We don't tell him. So for this Christmas video, we dressed him up as a Christmas donkey. Okay? Because sometimes investors, they just don't know the prudent path and they need a little guidance. And you'll see how smart Scott is. See, I told you how smart he is.
He's smarter than you thought.
Yeah, I know. So we can't lose focus on the prudent investing fundamentals because we might, when we get these empty promises, we might get squirreled. You know what it is to be squirreled, right? So you have a dog that's totally focused on you because he loves you. And all of a sudden he sees the squirrel and boom, he's gone, right? We can't get squirreled by the financial industry. Losing focus can lead to disaster.
My master made me this collar. He is a good and smart master, and he made me this collar so that I may talk. Squirrel! My master is good at...
Hey! Squirrel!
Squirrel! Where? I hate squirrels!
Yeah, I hate squirrels. If you lose focus one time during your lifetime, like the thousands and thousands of investors every single year that get duped, you might run into this evil squirrel that's planning to steal your nuts.